Hello all, welcome back again. It's stuck into it again today. If any of you have been following me like with my original videos, when I had this, before I cut the chassis out, basically the chassis was rusted out, both seals were rusted out, but what we decided to do is start on this side of the car. So what I've done, I've got this rectangular steel, and I welded onto the inside of the guard just to support this side of the car whilst I get the chassis out. So this is how it was. It was under the car like that. So yeah, so supporting the car itself on this corner, which there wasn't a real lot of weight, but you know, you had to support it somewhere or another. So I started cutting this off, cutting it and trying to grind the weld off, but it was just turning into a mess, and it's all bent out of shape because when this structure, this prop was in the wheel arch, I was trying to jack the front up this one time, and too much of the weight got put onto this part of the car and it fell down and it bent me in the guard up. I could have fixed it, I could have ground this all off and dressed it up, but I thought, you know what, just cut it out and make a whole new section. So I just done that now, and yeah, it's come out pretty good. The lines up. I took my time with it. I couldn't weld flat out or I would have warped and got out of shape. So now I've got that new section in, I can move forward. So I've got the section here that comes out of the chassis. It comes out of here, comes out of a sedan, an XB. So got this section that come with the chassis. So that's got to go in there. I've got to cut it down. So I'll clamp this all together. I'll do plug welds on the lip on the other side, and then I'll just do a little tack through here and clean it up. But that needs to be cleaned up. There's too much weld in there. It's like crap. Yeah, so that's where I'm up to at the moment. And yesterday I tried to go to Sydney Tools and get a replacement shield, because this one's starting to get a bit dirty, a bit scuffed up. But they told me that there's none around at the moment. Everybody in the medical field have bought them all, which makes sense because I was at the doctor's and I seen one of them sitting on his table, and I'm like, yeah, that looks so much like the one I got at home, so it makes sense. Just gonna have to keep cleaning this up and look after it a bit better. And, yeah, I've cut the structure out of the car too, if you haven't already noticed. That was a lot of work. That had to come out. Before I cut it off, I made sure, or when I cut this here, I made sure the B-pillar didn't move at all, because that's one of the main areas I was concerned about moving. But it stayed where it was, so that's good. That means that it's all tied up, the car's all tied in together. Panels are all tight. So what I'll do now, yeah, I'll get that set up, enjoying my coffee. And then after that, I've done this side here. This has been done, but it's not properly welded in. I don't want to have it so that this is welding properly, but this isn't, because just in case something has to be moved or altered, because there's a lot of work has to be done in this area. And yeah, I've got to fix up this. 95% welded in now. Tell you what, it's taken a long time. Having dramas with the welder. I'm not so worried about how it looks down here. I'll clean it up a bit more, but as long as it's strong and it's tied into the chassis, and I think that's the most important thing. But I'm going to do around here soon. Can do all that. See a bit of rust through there. So I'll put a new section in there, and I'll fix this hole up here where it's got a bad spot. But the damn welder, it's a fault of the welder. It's a perfectly good machine. It's just in here where you've got the drive gear. It's got on the spline that goes inside the drive gear, there's a little keyway, and the key sort of moved in the wrong direction, and this gear drive wouldn't go in properly, so I was sitting back a bit, and I kept on getting wire binding up, and yeah, you know how it goes, MIG welders. So I fixed that up, so hopefully that's the end of it. But yeah, I'm hoping, hopefully wrap that up in the next couple of hours, and I'll start on this side. So I pretty much finished that side now. I was going to use a bit of seam sealer, but that could happen down the track. So yeah, I'm up to this point now. Just looking into it. I think this part here, or this area, needs attention. So I'll have to cut that out, and I reckon I'll just replace this whole section here, whole way along. I really like, what I've learnt is, you think it looks alright, and then you start trying to weld onto it, and it just blows through, and you end up wasting time. So what I have got, I'm starting to get a lot of my sections I bought out of storage. So I've got this part here, goes in there like that. Yeah, so that'll pretty much replace this whole area. I might have to take this beaver panel off. I might just loosen it off. Yeah, so I'll get onto that now. I've also got that section here to replace. Just getting rid of this old section here, and I noticed, like, when you got a rusty surface, it's hard to tell where the spot welds are. So I don't need waste my time trying to find them. I just get it like that and twist it off, go like this, and then eventually, yeah, you come across a spot weld, so you fold it back and just bloody drill out where the spot weld is, and just keep working my way along. But as you can see in here, yeah, little creatures have died in there. Unreal. Yeah. I'll have to give that a good clean wire brush and fresh coat of paint. So yeah, I cut little strips there, as I said before, and yeah, I've got up to this point now. What I'll do, I'll trim that off, and then I'll jump in there where the fuel tank hole is, and I'll cut some more slits, eventually peel it up to up around here somewhere, and then I can yeah, clean this out. This should be pretty easy in here. It's pretty much rusted through anyway. But yeah, this part looks pretty good, solid. But yeah, you can see up here some more rust holes, so we'll have to look into that. But I reckon from this point here right around to where it joins up over here, I reckon there's going to be a lot of rust. So I'll have to be replaced. Try to do a little demo here. Don't know how well you can see, but I've got to a point where I can see a spot weld, so I've drilled it. Then I keep rolling it over. That spot weld lets go. Then now I've come across another one, so now I back off. I know there's a spot weld there. Let's get me drill. Don't worry about, be careful not to drill too much obviously, but yeah, twist, keep going. That one lets go. Come to another one. Right there, you can see it. Wait, I don't know whether you can see it there, but oh yeah. that's it. I mean, that's how I do it. I mean, everybody's got different techniques and how you do stuff, but that works for me. All cleaned up. I used a wire brush and their die grinder and just got in there and loosened up all the rust, all the dirt and gunk. High pressure, I blasted with high pressure air and yeah, gave it a coat of epoxy black, it's engine enamel, and then gave it the copper well-through primer. It turns out the centre guard's not too bad. It's only one little spot there it needs replacing, so I just drilled out the spot welds and knocked it off from this side, and then used the die grinder tip to clean it all up. And then down here, that wasn't too bad, just at the bottom it's a little bit of rust, but that's alright. I'll replace that section, but at the moment I won't worry about that. But yeah, this is so much better over this side than the other side. The other side was a nightmare in comparison. So what I've got now, I've got this replacement section. A bit hard to fit it with this beaver panel, but yeah, that's it there. Fits up nicely. So I need to put a little section in there, and then everything else just butts up. But I won't fit that just yet. I'll have to put a slit, either cut it down here or slit across there. But I've noticed on this panel there's a bit of a dink in here, so I'm undecided what to do. I know this side I just cut it flush, so I'll probably end up doing the same with that to, yeah, probably do the same with that to make it sort of mirror the same. But unfortunately there's a section that goes here, and I must have ordered two. I already had one right hand side panel. I already have one of these, and rare spares one wherever I put it, through somewhere. But yeah, unfortunately I must have ordered the right hand one again, so I'll have to order a left hand one. I'm in no rush, but there's always other stuff I can do to the car, so what I can do now is do that little section there, and then I can do in here, fix that up. Gradually getting closer and closer to being able to fit up the parcel shelf, which is complete, just needs to be fitted and painted and that. And then I can almost yeah, start on the rear quarters. So all that has to be fixed up, all rusted out. You can see on this side where the sill marries up. That's right, I had a good guide on this side, so that marries up there. Same as the other side here, it's in a bad way, so I just have to rebuild it. But yeah, this side's not too bad either, really. At this corner, I mean. Over here, it's a nightmare. A lot of work to get it fixed. I've cut this section out, and now I'm using this cardboard that I got from Officeworks, and then I've got my Milwaukee permanent marker again, just a fine point, so you can yeah, just makes it easier to mark more precisely. So yeah, I've got that sitting there, got magnets holding it. So what I'll do, I'll run some tape behind it, and then that'll be one piece then, and then I'll mark it out on the metal sheet, cut it out, and then yeah, it won't just fit straight up. I'll have to trim it and modify it, but I want it to have a nice bend in it, so it sort of marries up with the rest of it and looks sort of like it's meant to be there. But I'll put a bit more time into this, because this here, you'll be able to see that. Like when you pop the boot and anyone looks in it, be able to see it. So yeah, I don't look at it if it's rough. Yeah, so I'll whip that up now. Perfect example of make and do what you got. Got these vise, got two rectangular tubes, got the metal in here, and slowly bending it. Anything how I like it. See how that goes. So it's marrying up pretty good. The top there needs a bit of a trim, but I expected that. It's got a bit of a gap there, but that's alright. Slowly weld it in, and I'll pay a lot of attention to make sure all the corners are lined up and that. All done now. It's coming out pretty good. It's all flat, all marries up. Well, isn't uneven at all. And use a die grinder to get in the corner there. So these tips here. So I just got to put another, this would be a lot easier doing that one. Patch there, little patch over here. Yeah, another little one here, but I won't be able to mark out the holes. I have to put the fuel tank in and bolt the fuel tank in and make sure all this is right before I go chopping anything. Just gave the shed a big clean up. Now I'm just stepping back and thinking about what I'm going to do next. So as much as I want to put the parcel shelf in, once you put that parcel shelf in, it's going to cover this whole area. So if you need to get into this area, it's going to be difficult. So I'm running out of like I need the panel that goes in here to finish that area off. But yeah, I've just got to it's not always, you can't always just hook into the car and get heaps of work done. You got to think about what you're going to do, because if you don't, you can get yourself in trouble. So I'm sitting here thinking about what I can do over the weekend and how I can progress with it. And I'm thinking I might permanently fix this in, weld it in. Same as this side, I'll have to weld all along here. It's ready to go. It's all cut, lined up in it. So weld this in, and then before I weld this beaver panel on, I've got the tape measure. Just have to make sure that it's all square, because recently I jacked up the back of the car on the beaver panel. It may have knocked it out a bit, so I have to make sure it's 100% square, because this chassis come out, it sort of messed everything up a bit. So before I weld the chassis in, we made sure that it was 100% square and that. But yeah, now I've jacked up under this beaver panel, anything could be different. So I'll take that into account before I go welding the beaver panel to this rear panel. So if I weld in these rear panel areas, weld all that in. Just that alone, doing a weld all the way along there and across there, there's a lot of time in that, because you can't weld really like continuously, because you just get heat distortion. So yeah, I'll do that side, do this side, fix this area up over here, patch that area up. And once I've done that, then I'll progress to putting the parcel shelf in. Yeah, I won't weld the parcel shelf in. I'll just get it in a position where I can look at it and go, right, oh, this is where I'm at. And then I'll move on to, cleaning these areas up, get rid of all those old areas where I drill the spot welds out. Clean that area up. Same's up here. Then I'll have to start looking at doing this areas. I'll do one section at a time, work my way along, because if you try to do like too much areas in one hit, you can knock the shape out. So it's important to just do little bits at a time. But this side isn't really bad. I'm just looking over it, and it's really just around here and just around the tops there. I'm yet to look to see how good that lip is, but yeah, it's not too bad. Around here it looks pretty good. This, I just need to dress that back out, but I really have to be careful not to ruin the profile, because this area is, you cannot buy it, you've got to make it yourself. So I'll have to make sure I keep that good shape. But this side, Yeah, that's brilliant, that side, that's really good. Just have to, we'll have to go to Bunnings and buy those little, they got these little belt driven, they got like this, it's like a special belt driven air tool. I can use that to get this off, because I want to take it off without ruining the lip, because that lip gives me guide of where it's got to be. So yeah, do around here. And yeah, just pay attention to all these areas, get it all ready. But yeah, I'm not too far off. Put the rear quarters on. Once the rear quarters are on, then I can start looking at the rear panel. And I could tell you what, this rear panel I've got for this car is in a very sorry state. I was actually going to replace it with a rare spares one, and then the guy I bought this car off, he knows a lot about these coupes. He said, man, don't do it. Just keep the rear panel. Keep it. Don't get rid of it and try to save it, because the rare spare ones, like, they're just no good. They work, just to buy a rare spares rear panel and trying to fit it to the car is a job in itself. I'll have to show you all the parts I got for this car, but the story doesn't end. The story doesn't end with the rear panel. Like, there's a lot of other parts in the car that got issues, like the boot lid. It's got issues. Today I went out to where I got all the panels stored, and the driver's side door is not too bad, but the passenger side door, it's in a horrible state, severe rust. But I've got some replacement sections for the doors, but yeah, extremely limited what you can get for them. So I'll wrap it up for this video, but yeah, I'll have another one coming soon.